Everybody knows Tucker Carlson has made some questionable decisions recently when it comes to, let's say, his financing of Qatari money in anti-Israel and anti-American propaganda by that virtue. I'm Tal the Traveling Clat, your favorite Zionist prince. Let's jump right into, real quick, why Tucker Carlson. What's up with Tucker Carlson? Tucker Carlson. This is from the Turning Point event USA with Charlie Kirk.
I also refer to common sense when I say that no man can serve two masters. It's not possible. I only have one wife for that reason. You say to your wife, I'm going to take another wife, but I'm going to love you just as much. Nothing's going to change. My wife's going to look at me like, no, it's one wife. Because you can only really pledge your loyalty to one person or one country. That's just a fact. And there's also a sense, and this is relevant to me, and I know you're speaking about Israel, but it's not just Israel, to be honest. I think it's a huge problem. I think anybody, by the way, who serves in a foreign military should lose their citizenship immediately. There are a lot of Americans who've served in the IDF, they should lose their citizenship. There's a lot of Americans who've served in Ukraine, and they should lose their citizenship. You can't fight for another country and remain an American, period. Obviously, I mean, it's like not even, it's so funny how all been cowed into being like, oh, that's hate speech. No, it's not. You don't hear hate in my voice because there isn't any. It's just an obvious recognition of the truth. But there's a more insidious thing, and I say it's not just Israel. I'm not just trying to like give myself cover. I'm being honest. There are a ton of countries that offer citizenship, actually, some of which I love. I have been offered citizenship in a couple of different countries that I really like, and I thought about it. And then I thought, no, there's something about being lashed to the mast.
Look how many people are leaving.
Everyone can see that America's in trouble. The demographic trends are really bad. And the country's decaying and cities are falling apart. So you're like, oh, wow, maybe I should flee. And then I'm like, my ancestors are from here. My parents are buried right across from my kitchen. I'm staying here. And the second you make that decision in your head, like, I don't care what happens to America, I will be here. It totally changes your attitude. You're like, I don't even care. It's my country. And they've been here for so long and fought in all of these wars. My ancestors, and I'm sure yours, would be totally shocked by some of the conversations. Foreign flags in the Congress? Are you joking? Get out. And so, no, once you decide you're all in on your country, it really changes the way you approach everything. And by the way, it should be the baseline requirement. You shouldn't be allowed to serve in government if you're not a U.S. citizen, or you're a dual citizen. Are you joking? Of course not. And I would love to know what the justification is. And of course there isn't one, which is why they're allowed to just write you off as some sort of like freak, some internet freak, hater, Nazi, whatever. No, I'm not. Just an American who loves my country, and I think it's fair to demand that the people running my country love it every bit as much as I do.
That was about the worst hobble gobble of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. And apparently tons of people are leaving. This is the end of Tucker Carlson. Hundreds of attendees walk out during his speech at Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA can be an open to Qatar branch and appoint him ambassador. I'm sure he'll do fine there. Maybe what he says will rub the right heartstrings with some of you. I don't know what to say. Sorry, my light being right here. My bad. That anybody who served in another foreign army, would you also say that, by the way, for anybody who would serve in, like, let's say the French army or Swiss army? Like, let's say somebody is a Swiss and American national or a Canadian and American national, and he serves in the Canadian military, which is like an ally and the army right across the border. Does that mean he should be stripped of his U.S. citizenship? No, for real. Like, you need to answer that question. What if one parent is Canadian and one parent is American? And what if they serve in the Canadian military? What if they serve in both? If they serve in one, do they have to serve in both? I don't think there's ever been a stipulation against serving in both militaries. Now, the difference is, if they serve in a military that the U.S. one acknowledges and works with on a regular basis, and then if they serve in a terrorist group, if they engage in a terrorist group, that's the catch. If you join ISIS, it's not the equivalent to you fighting in the Israeli army or in the French army, in the UN special forces, in the Swiss army, in the Canadian army. It's not the same thing. But Tucker Carlson is so obsessed with comparing Israel to a terrorist state. That's the only binary his brain can see at, and it's so fucking retarded. It's literally the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I don't really have anything else to add on it. That's it. Maybe it is the end of Tucker. I don't know. Maybe it's not. It honestly, at this point, really does feel like a grift towards Qatari money. And it does feel like he's undermining the United States of America on a regular basis. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Let me know what you think in the description below. Comments below. See you next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.